Hey everybody, hope everybody's doing well. Just wanted to share some activities that I've been doing this week that have been kind of cool. So in my 30 days of OT with Dan, there are different activities for every letter of the day. It's supposed to be a self-regulation course for parents and students. So I know the videos could be a little bit lengthy and maybe it's a little bit, difficult to watch the whole thing. There are some good sensory, motor, stretching, breathing, movement activities in there. But I wanted to do just kind of a takeaway of some other activities that I talk about, but I want to make sure that, people could get a chance to do them as well. So that also means that I shouldn't talk too much because I want to make sure that they're nice and fast and effective videos showing you just some different skills or different activities that we can do with our students or our children at home. Okay, so let me show you the ones from this week. Let me bring it down. All right, so the first one is something called name Re-Scramble. Okay, so for name Re-Scramble, depending on how we are writing, how much space we need for writing, we can either write our name all the way across our paper like this, right? And even on a paper here where we have a line, we can practice how we line up the letters and how we're forming the letters if we're writing in all capital. We could cut those letters out, re-scramble them, and see if we could put them back together. Okay, if we want to try to make it a little bit more challenging, right, as we get better with our handwriting, we can also incorporate folding. Fold that paper once, fold that paper twice. Okay, see if we can fold that paper 3 times. Okay, now when we open it up, we get like an accordion looking fan folding type of paper. All right, so what we can do is we can take out a pair of scissors, okay, and we can also practice just cutting some nice long lines across the page. So we can have our student practice cutting these lines, cutting on the lines. All right, I'm not going to cut all of them, I'll just cut just one. Right? And these are great for families as well because this will give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these nice long rectangles. Okay, and then in each one, we're going to write our name. So there's lines in there as well, so we can focus on our legibility components of how we're forming our letters, our spacing, our sizing, okay, and just writing our name. Okay, once we write our name, sorry, this says Daniel. Okay, then we take our scissors and we see if we can cut out each letter. Okay, we cut 1, 2. So being that all of our papers, since they're folded equally, right, all of our fan pieces, they're all going to be the same length. Right, so it's great for families because if everybody writes their name and everybody can cut their own letters, or we can give some work to our student to cut everyone's letters, or just for a sibling. Oops, I lost my letter E. And we have some extra. Okay, so what we have are these perfectly even pieces, not as far as width, but as far as length of our name. So our name Re-Scramble is that we can just mix it up and then just practice some visual, motor, visual, perceptual skills of having to re-scramble those letters. So finding our letters and seeing if we can get them back into order. Okay, so for one name, it's not too bad, but if we have a brother or a sister or a mother or father or a friend or a cousin or our dog or our cat, if we have 5 or 6 names here and we mix all of them up, then it's really a fun activity because we can actually make our name with other letters as well, other people's letters, all right? And it's also called Re-Scramble because once we make our name, once we're able to find our name, we can also see if we can organize the letters to make a different name. So let me see, maybe I can make, oh, of course, this is the one that I make, denial. Oh, well, just as an example, but let me see, maybe I can make another one. Dine, dine, la. So, just kind of mixing it up, and this is just for one name, but if we have a bunch of different people's names, Leonard. If we have a bunch of people's different names, then we can put it all in the middle, cut it up, scramble them all up, and this becomes our name Re-Scramble. Okay, that's one activity, name Re-Scramble. Okay, next is something called our organized octagon. Okay, so we take a piece of paper, I'm using yellow, and we draw an octagon. Okay, you can see I have a little outline here. So octagon is a fun thing to say and a fun thing to draw, and you could do a lot with the octagon, whether it's jumping in the shape of an octagon, counting its sides, counting its corners, cutting the octagon. It's just a really good shape to use because you can do so many different activities with it. You can take putty and flatten it and see if you can cut the corners to make it an octagon. Okay, you can always fold a piece of paper in half and just see if you can draw half of an octagon, right? Octagon is all equal. But for this activity, we just need a regular octagon. Okay, and then what we do is we can use this octagon as an organizer. So we usually make visual schedules by either using pictures to put in order of a scheduler, or we just have a calendar or a daily organizer that we're trying to organize. So this is something that our students can build on their own, and it's called our organized octagon. So what a student will do is they will make this octagon, and then they need to cut out just outside of the line so there's a little bit of room for writing. And you can use this to organize any kind of things that you need. So for example, say you want to give the student a way to indicate the need of a break, right? So I'm doing a lot of self-regulation activities, self-regulation movements, breathing, exercises. So say I'm teaching a student all these different self-regulation techniques, and now I want them to be able to indicate the need of a break on their own. So we can build our organized octagon. I can have them doing some writing, tracing, make them use a ruler so that they can use both hands. Okay, one hand to hold, one hand to trace, so we can make our octagon. We could talk about it, count it, all right? Then we cut it out, practice some scissor skills, and now I have them take a marker or whatever colors they want to use, right? These are just the colors I'm using. And now we start to write different activities that they want to do. So say they really like the crab walk, an animal walk, crab walk, okay? I want to make sure that they have a breathing on there too. So they like cat-cow breathing, cat and cow breathing, okay? I want them to have an exercise as well. They like jumping jacks. Okay, I want to promote some choice, independent choice. So they have their own choice, which is just like a free movement. Oops, free movement. So anything that they want to do to express themselves, dance, jumping jacks, it could be an exercise, it could be a breathing, it could be a grounding strategy, it could be a nesting, which just means laying in a nice comfy place. Maybe it's just a bunch of pillows or going in their own kind of quiet, private zone, right? So this is all different self-regulation strategies that they might want to do. Okay, and then we start to talk about some other ones. So maybe one is going to be jumping, right? I like to use jumping. Okay, maybe one is going to be drawing, just a way to take a 5-minute break of just drawing, kind of just expressing yourself, doing different things. Okay, I want to get another breathing strategy on here. So we come up with lion breath. And for the last one, they really like music and they like to dance with music. I'll leave it open and just say music. This way they can either just relax, chill, hang out, and listen to music, or they can dance with music, whatever they want to do. Sing, dance, hum. Okay, then what we do is we take a bottle cap from the top of a bottle, an empty one, hopefully, preferably, right? Take a bottle cap, and we can do this with glue. I just have some tape, right? So we take some tape, right? And we can even practice how we have to fold that tape upside down, right, to get it on the back of the paper, right? We're looking for the middle of the page here. Okay, we get that tape there, right? Nice fine motor activity, getting that tape on the paper. Okay, get a piece of tape on there, right? Maybe we need one more. The same thing, we do it with another piece of tape. All right, and remember, glue will work as well. And the parents can always help out, or we can even just tape right on that bottle cap. And we take our bottle cap and we push it on there, right? And we're pushing, working on our finger strength, pushing with one finger. Maybe we want them to push it for 2 seconds with each finger. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We can talk about which finger feels like what. Is it easier on any finger? Is it harder on another finger? Which finger is easiest, right? Make sure they could get those fingers apart. Maybe we want them to do 2 fingers at a time. So really challenging their coordination and their control, how they control and use their fingers, okay? And now what we have is an organized octagon, oops, that spins, whoa. Okay, our organized octagon that spins. So if a student needs a strategy, if a student needs a break, okay, my organized octagon. I might need to fold it up a little. Okay, my organized octagon. Oh, sorry, here's what I missed. So we can even bend these up a little bit, get them off. Practice folding on the line. There we go. Okay, so we have this organized octagon and it spins. Okay, so if a student now, I want to introduce that I want them to use strategies during our sessions or throughout the day, all right? If they're sitting there and they feel like they're starting to have a hard time focusing or they're getting stressed out, right? We can always kind of adjust this a little bit to make it a little bit better. You know, I'm kind of just trying to make one quickly, but it ends up being just a cool little spinner of an organized, you know, activity, organized schedule. And so, you know, a student might know that these are their top 8 strategies that they want to use. And you know what, in the middle, you can put other strategies too, in case you want to swap one out. Okay, and a student can use this organized octagon or Octagon Organizer, organized octagon. And see, now I land on lion breath. So I would do my lion breath. Okay, so if I need a strategy, if I feel like I need a break, so we can work on just indicating, break please. Okay, what kind of break do you want? So instead of thinking of all the different breaks that I've learned, here are my top 8. And I can use my organized octagon to help myself organize which breaks I want. You can always change this week to week or every few weeks. And this can be used throughout the day too. So even if part of their daily routine, part of their visual schedule says that in the morning they're doing an exercise, at lunchtime, and in the evening time, they're doing different self-regulation strategies, then they can always have this organized octagon to spin at those times and find some different things to do. If they want to have all of these done, then they could just spin it for the order. Or maybe in the morning, their sensory diet will say 4 self-regulation strategies. So they spin it, free move, spin it again, drawing, spin it again, crab walk, spin it again, cat cow. Okay, so that's my 4 that I would have spun to do in the morning. Okay, so our organized octagon. All right, and you could do it for anything. So I made the one that I made with my students that inspired this was a daily schedule. So we started with morning routine, getting out of bed, getting washed up, having breakfast, right? Followed by stretch and breathe. So we talked about just nice stretching and breathing exercises to get started in the morning. Then morning schoolwork. So whatever classes we have to do, whatever schoolwork as organized by the parent. Then we have lunch and relax. Relax is just watching TV or getting on the iPad and playing games, FaceTiming with friends, okay, lunch, right? Then me activity. So we talked about the benefit of doing things for the self. So this could be exercise, this could be listening to music, it could be watching TV, but you know, I mean, it really depends. Maybe if it's something educational, I don't really like to have TV as a me activity, but you know, it really depends on the situation at home, right? Maybe doing some kind of breathing or mindfulness or exercise or stretching, right? A me activity of choice. Then we keep turning. PM schoolwork, right? Afternoon schoolwork, then chores. And this is really just to make sure that they're all done before we can have our free time, which can be whatever you want to do before the end of the day. So, you know, also something that we can practice folding on the corner. See, this one works a little better without the folding. Maybe it was just that bottle cap. This is like a little bit of a different bottle cap, but same thing. So, you know, this is something that we use at home now. So it's not necessarily one that they spin randomly, but just kind of, it's in the area where they're doing their work. So morning routine in the morning, by the time they come downstairs, they turn it. They like to turn it to get organized, and they do their stretching and breathing. Then they turn it when they're done. They get into their schoolwork. When they're finished with their schoolwork, boom, they turn it to lunch and relax, okay? After they're finished relaxing, maybe a parent has to say, okay, time to get started on your activity. What are you going to do today? Of course, some parent involvement, right? So name, Re-Scramble, organized Octagon, okay? And then I want to show you one last one for P. So this week, NOP, okay? Sorry. Our last one is our picture puzzle, all right? So picture puzzle, you can have any kind of picture and turn it over, cut it out, turn it into a puzzle, right? Maybe a self-expressive picture where the student is just drawing a picture and then turns it over and cuts it, either just as lines and squares, or you can do different shapes, Tetris style, right? Maybe doing X's or triangles, right? Different kind of shapes. And another really cool one, and I'm not promoting Jersey Straw, although I did go there, but I actually am not signed up to any gyms right now. But just as a magnet, right, that is the purpose of a magnet, right? So one of these kitchen magnets can be super, super cool. So same thing, maybe you want to do some X patterns, right? Something that looks like this, okay? Then you can cut that. So it's a little more resistance, a little more of a challenge onto that grip, right? You can cut that magnet. Okay, and then this way, it also becomes a picture puzzle. Oops. It also becomes a picture puzzle. But now it's a picture puzzle that will be on the fridge. So once we cut that magnet, oops. Just bear with me just a second. Okay, so we're cutting our magnet, right? And of course our parents can help if we need. There we go. So we cut our magnet, and now when we flip it all over, we get this magnetic picture puzzle. So not only is it a puzzle to challenge our visual motor, visual perceptual skills of what we do, how we put this puzzle back together. Not only do we have to figure out this puzzle, how to get it back together, but we could put it right on the fridge. So it becomes a really cool activity for anytime anybody walks by the fridge. Anytime you walk by the fridge, now you might have to move some things around, organize it. Maybe somebody's gonna, you know, mess it up just on purpose, just to be fun. And it just gives us an activity to do every time we're walking by that fridge to make sure that we're keeping that puzzle organized and together. Okay, and we can get it back together so that it looks good as, well, almost new. Okay, and of course I'm trying to go through it quickly, but okay, close, cool, not too bad. So we could get it on the fridge and it turns into our picture puzzle. So just wanted to share some 3 takeaway activities. Sorry, this is 3, not this. 3 takeaway activities from this week's OT with Dan letters, right? Which were our name Re-Scramble, our organized octagon, and our picture puzzle. Okay, so hope that helps. Hope everyone's having fun. Thank you for watching. Hope this helps.